We're starting in child's pose, but we have many options here. If you do not want to take child's pose at all because you don't like the compression of your body, you don't want anything against your thighs, you can lie on your back and either hug your knees into your stomach if you like. You can just rest with your feet on the mat and the knees bent. You can let the knees knock in. If you are feeling good with child's pose, but the hips are feeling like they still need to loosen up a little bit, you can put a block under your butt. If you grabbed a pillow, you can put it under your butt. You can fold the mat. And then one thing I've been doing this week is taking a block under my forehead in child's pose. That can feel quite supported, actually. Supportive. So start to land here in child's pose, balasana. And start to lengthen out your exhales. Around this time of year, we can start to get pulled in a lot of directions. Or the weather change or light change can kind of mess with our mood. I know for me, when I lived with seasons, I just never got over my seasonal depression. So it's really crucial at this time of year to come back to grounding practices that help us reconnect with the feeling in our body, in our legs, of feeling supported, of just letting everything kind of get a little bit more softened, a little bit lower to the ground. So with every breath out, I don't know if you can hear that, start to sink the hips to the heels a little bit more. Let's meet up with 3 deep breaths together. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. Last one like this, inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. Seal the lips if you like. Find your Ujjayi breath. And if your forehead is on the ground, not like me with the block, if you like, you can bend the elbows and bring the hands to touch. This is called Anjali Mudra. So a mudra is a hand gesture that symbolizes different things. You'll see it in Asian arts from the East and the South. Bring your prayer hands to the base of your skull, fingertips up. You can walk the elbows forward, opening through your triceps, or you can just keep your hands down, whatever works for you. And give yourself thanks for making it to the mat. And B, set an intention for our practice together. So again, could be something that you want to feel or experience, or you might want to just energetically send something out to someone else. Bring the hands down to the ground. Activate your child's pose by tenting the fingertips and bringing the elbows off the ground. And then press into the fingertips so that the hips come a little bit closer to the heel. So now your fingertips are helping you open the hips. Walk your hands out to the right. So off the mat, stretching into the left side of the body, the head will probably move. So it's still between the arms. And then you can make this a little bit more restorative, more supported by keeping the forearm down and the elbow down, or you can really press into the fingers here. And that gets into the intercostals, the muscles between the ribs a little bit more. Walk back through center and then take this over to the left. So hands come all the way off the mat. Same thing here. Either keep the elbows down, keep the bottoms of your arms down, forehead down, or press the fingertips into the mat to get a little bit more right hip, right rib, right intercostals rather. Walk back to center. And then come to tabletop hands and knees. So we were doing cat-cow seated. Let's take it from hands and knees today. Spread the fingers wide. Tuck the toes for today for cow. So inhale, arch the spine, pull the chest forward, chin goes up. And when we find this cow spine, see if you can relax through your core, like all day. Sorry, exhale, cat. Untuck the toes, press the ground away. The reason I say relax through the core is like, we're kind of like always kind of sucking in, maybe not all of us, right? But there is a tendency to kind of do that because of body image stuff, or we think we need to be bracing our spine all the time, but you know, we got to breathe too. The fascia around our trunk needs a little bit of love. Exhale, cat. And then take a few rounds of this on your own breath. So either staying with the straight up cat cow, or maybe making some circular movements here. That can be whatever you like. So close the eyes. Everybody's doing their own thing. You can sit back to child's pose. That's really nice if your low back is kind of tweaked. Or if you want to keep opening the hips. Ooh. Something just cracked. If you ever hear any cracks or pops, but it doesn't hurt, it's probably just like cartilage moving around in air. So try not to worry too much unless, you know, your brain is telling you pain. Come back to tabletop. Wrist stretch here. Take your fingertips out to either side. That's step option number 1. Option number 2, fingertips back towards the knees. And then lots of choices. You can make circles, or you can start to drop the weight back towards your heels, tucking your toes. And then if anybody really wants to get on in there, 2 more choices. The first one is to take a reverse fingertip plank. You can also take a reverse fingertip down dog, walking the feet in. That is just something that might happen. But for anybody who's feeling extremely bendy today, have at it. All right. Bring the knees down if you lifted them. Bring the tops of the hands down to the ground. Send the fingertips to face each other and then bend and extend through the elbows. Open and close through the fists. The warm up, right? We come back to familiar movements over and over again for the physical reason that we need to kind of get into all these supportive joints, tissues that hold up our body weight. But the other reason is that it's grounding. When we have familiar postures as an anchor for our practice, we get to drop in a little bit more because we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest when we know what's coming. And then of course, things are going to change a little bit as we move. Bring the palms back down to the ground, spread the fingers wide, bring the shins together, tuck the toes, toe stretch. Did we do this last week? I don't know. I feel like I've been leaving it. So first option here is to sit right on the heels. Second option is to take a block under your butt. Sometimes that takes a little bit of tension off the toes. Another option is take a block between the feet, sit on it that way. Or if you're just totally not feeling it, you can untuck the toes and then all the same options apply. Sit on a block, all that good stuff. Interlace the fingers down to the webbing in front of your chest. Press the palms away, round and curl, find a cat spine. So bring the chin to the chest. Inhale, bring the palms up. Bring the palms up overhead. Take a side bend to the right. So in a side bend, we're moving along the sagittal plane. So just to the right.
So keep working the chest and the hips back towards the front of your mat. So rather than looking down to the right, you're still looking forward. The right fingertips can come down to your right side to the floor or to a block if you want to get a little bit more into that left side like we worked in the child's pose. Come back to center, reinterlace the fingers, press the palms up overhead, and then exhale, side bend to the left. So same options here. Push the chest, the hips to the front of the mat. Left fingertips can come down or to a block. Reach the right fingertips over a lot, like you're grabbing something off the side. Yeah. Come back up to center. I know the toes are talking to us, but interlace the fingers one more time. Bring them behind the skull. Keep the elbows out to the side. Back bend here. So still sitting on the heels, press the thoracic spine, the middle of the rib cage forward a lot. Originating the back bend from the middle here, and then the head might drop back. As long as you're breathing, it's all good. Come back to a tall spine, shoulders over the hips. Bring the hands down. Let's pat out the feet a lot. Take a second here. Make some noise. Maybe point and flex the feet, get the blood flowing back. Hip mobility, bring the left knee out to the side. Just take a few big circles out to the left and then back into the right. And towards the center rather. Set the left knee down. Right knee out to the side. Coming up kind of on the end of our warm-up soon. Don't you worry, bring it back in. If your knees get sensitive, my left knee just said hello, just fold over the mat. Bring the right knee down, thread the needle, inhale the right hand up. Exhale, bring the right hand under the left arm, bring the right ear down. Right away, slide the right ear away from your right shoulder. And then I'm going to give a bunch of options. So option 1, walk the left fingertips forward, bring the left elbow off the ground. Option 2, if you're really working through shoulder opening, pick up the left hand, turn the left palm away from you, bend the elbow. And then if you do that, you're wiggling the elbow down to connect with the low back as closely as you can. Option 3, send the left toes back, bring the left knee off the ground. Option 4, pick up the left foot. Option 5, you could grab for the top foot for a quad stretch, but that's just if you're feeling crazy. If you float the left leg, spin the toes down, squeeze the muscles a lot. Awesome. Bring the left knee down if you floated it. Bring the left hand back under the left shoulder. Inhale, pick the right hand up. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Shake it out. Reach the right arm forward. Pick the left foot up and back, send it back, balancing tabletop. 3 core cultivations. So press from the heel through the right fingers. Exhale, round and curl, elbow to knee. Nice. Yeah, cat spine. Inhale, reach from heel through fingers. Exhale, round and curl, cat spine. One more inhale, reach. Exhale, round and curl. Take the right hand to the left shin, pull it up a little bit higher. Listen carefully, right hand under the face, left toes flex back. Shift the right shin back at a slight angle to open up for half moon. Woo. Ardha Chandrasana, supported on the ground. So if you wobble like me, you can tuck the back toes and then pick up the left foot, kick the left heel back, left hand to the left hip. So you're opening your hip a lot. The left hand can come up. You can take a quad stretch, pointing the left toes towards the left glute. Then you can grab the foot if you want. If you want to turn this into supported bow, you kick the foot back away from you so that you open through your shoulders. Yeah. Okay. Release the left foot, bring the left hand up. Bring the left hand to the left hip and then set the left foot down. So the outer edge of the left foot aligns with the back of the mat. Come up to a tall spine. You might move the right foot if you need to. Kneeling gait. Left hand slides down the left leg. Reach the right arm up, over into the left side of the room. So another big side stretch here. You can also half bind the left arm behind the back if that feels good. And then cartwheel the hands down. So the hands are facing the front of the mat. The right knee is down and the left toe is tucked. Everyone there? Great. Press into the hands, press into the left toes, pick the right knee up into the chest. Hold here for a moment. Round through the upper back, pull the right shin up even higher. Right foot up and back, one-legged dog. Sink the left heel down to the ground, spread your fingers wide, and then bend the right knee, open the hip. And take a few big hip circles like we just did on the ground. And then bring it back in towards the center. Send the right foot up and back, dial the right heel up, right toes down. Come high on the ball of the left foot. Round and curl, shoulders over wrist, tap the right knee towards the right elbow. Just try it. It doesn't have to touch. Cool. Send it up and back. One-legged dog. Come forward, tap right knee towards left elbow. Send it up and back. One more time. This time, roll forward, pull knee to nose. Set the right foot between the hands. Low lunge. Okay, so if you got to slide the foot forward like I just did, great. Bring the hands inside the right foot and then walk the hands out, wide-legged forward bend. Prasarita Padottanasana. So you might take the blocks with you. Keep them handy. For now, two choices. Choice one, I'm really sweating here. This room's hot. Okay, choice one is a wide-legged down dog. So you reach the hands forward and the fingers are spread wide, the hands are flat. The other choice is hammock. Tent the fingertips, bend the elbows, and then you melt the chest forward and the chin is slightly forward. So this is all kind of cracking open. Either one's fine. Walk the hands back under the face and then turn the fingertips away from you, so behind the heels. And then walk the hands back as far as you can get them. So you can bend the knees a lot here, but drop the head and look back and walk the shoulders closer to your thighs. Eventually, this could become this crazy pose called tortoise, but we're not going to do it, but we're working in that direction where your shoulders hook under the thighs eventually. Walk the hands back under the face. Turn your right toes back towards the front of the mat. Tuck the left toes, low lunge to the front of the mat. Keep the hands flat here and step back high plank. So from high plank, you can bring your knees down. We are going to hold it for a moment. So if you're here with me with the knees up, keep the heels over the toes, press the ground away, and just breathe. If the knees are down, it'll look like this. Just be careful that you're not kind of squeezing your butt up. Alternate shoulder taps. Pick up right hand to left shoulder, set it down. Left hand, right shoulder, set it down. See how steady you can keep it towards the center as we take 2 more taps on each side. Tabletop, hands and knees. Shake it out. Spread the fingers back wide under the hands. Claw the fingertips into the mat. Tuck the toes, hovering tabletop. So the knees come off the mat here. Keeping the right knee up. Pick the left knee up out to the side, fire hydrant. Set the left toes down. We're still hovering. Pick the right knee up out to the side, fire hydrant. Right toes down, still hovering. 2 more. Left knee out. Set it down. Yes. Right knee out. Set the right toes down. Left knee out, still hovering. Left toes down. Right knee out. Right toes down. Knees down, tabletop, child's pose. Knees wide, toes touch. Sink it back. Breathe in. Breathe out. So we will get very restorative with some yoga nidra, but let's move a little bit first. Come back to tabletop, hands and knees. So other side for that whole thing. Left hand peels up, opening through the chest. Left hand under the right arm, left ear. Left shoulder comes down to the mat. So your options, again, pardon me, are to walk the right fingertips forward. Half bind the right forearm behind the back. Float the legs. Whatever works here. And if you're floating, again, the right toes are down and you're squeezing the quads. The quad. Bring the right knee down. Slide the right hand under the right shoulder. Inhale, pick up the left hand, peel open. Exhale, left hand comes down. Balancing tabletop on this side. Left hand reaches forward, right toes reach back. Flex the right foot, toes down, heel up. Exhale, 3 core cultivations. Elbow to knee, press the mat away. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round and curl, cat spine. Luna is just off screen. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round and curl. Take the left hand to the right shin, push the ground away, and then bring the left hand under the face. Keep the right knee curled in. Press the right foot back, flex the toes down, and then bring the left shin back slightly, tuck the left toes. Bring right hand to right hip, peel open for supported half moon. Then the right hand could come up. You could kick the right toes towards the right glute. You could reach the right hand for the foot. You could kick the right foot away into your hand for a little bit of a back bend. That is a balance challenge for sure. Release the right foot, bring your right hand up, and then seal the right foot down to the back edge of the mat. Bring your right hand to your right hip, tuck the left toes a lot, and then come up tall spine. Shoulders over hips. Nice. Kneeling gait. Right hand comes down the right leg, reach the left arm up over to the back of the mat. Spin the left pinky down towards the left ear. You could also half bind here. Take the hands back towards the front of the mat. Retuck the right toes, bring the right heel up. Same thing as the other side, press into the mat, pick the left shin up into the chest. Inhale, left foot up and back, one-legged dog. Bend the left knee, open the hip, and take a few circles here. Here it comes finally, because there's a different Enigma song, but my playlist is finally playing. Okay, send the left foot up and back. Come high on the right foot, look forward at the hands, shoulders over wrists, knee to left elbow. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, roll forward, knee taps towards right elbow. Send it up and back. One more, this time coming high on the ball of the right foot. Round and curl, knee to nose, hold. Set the left foot down. Runner's lunge, low lunge. Walk the hands inside the left foot and then spin the right foot down, parallel all of your toes towards the side of the mat. Another wide-legged forward bend here. So you can grab the blocks if you want. You can keep the hands on the blocks. You can bring the forearms down to the blocks. You can play with the setting of the blocks. You can bring your hands towards the big toes. You can grab the outer edge of the feet. So lots of options while we chill here. So pick an option, commit to it, and then drop the head. Look back at your heels. Today's about a little bit of emphasis on the hamstrings. So roll a little bit more weight into the toes. Press into the hands, inhale, lift halfway, and then crawl the hands forward towards the left foot. Turn the left toes forward, tuck the right toes. Inhale, step back, high plank. Meet me here, try it on your toes. Step the left foot out to the left, bring it in. Right foot out to the right, bring it in. left foot out, left foot in, right foot out, right foot in. Let's do 5 on each side. Left out, left in, right out, right in. Left out, left in, right out, right in. Last one, left out, left in, right out, right in, knees down. Bring the knees as wide as the mat, big toes touch, sink back, child's pose. Reconnect with the breath. Slide your hands back. Meet me in tabletop, hands and knees. Spread the fingers wide again. So again, mat between each finger. Get a little bit more weight into the toes, fingers rather, and the toes, tuck the toes. Hovering tabletop, we're not hanging out here. Send the hips up and back to our first down dog. So you can start with bent knees and look back at your toes, make sure the feet are apart, and then pedal out your dog. I'm gonna check out everybody while you do that. Yeah, you can pick up the legs, bend and extend through them, really nice. If you find that you're rounding through the upper back, you can walk the hands forward a little bit. Yeah, good adjustment. So what's more important here is that you are keeping an aligned spine, so kind of like a longer upper body diagonal sensation. And then it doesn't matter if the heels are touching the ground. Okay, everybody that I can see looks really good. And I'm sure everybody else is chilling. Okay. From here, bring the big toes to touch. Send the right foot up and back. Look forward at the hands, round and curl knee to nose. Set the right foot down. So we meet in the slow lunge and then spin the left foot down to the back edge of the mat. Cartwheel the arms up. Warrior 2 is where we meet. Okay, everybody. So press down into the outer edge of the left foot so that the left hip starts to fire up. Press the right knee right out over the center of the right foot. Bring your hands to your hips to start. And then take a second and take the shoulders back over the hips. It is very common to kind of reach forward, just bring it back. Cool. Bring the arms out, keep them strong. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and let's breathe in here. For 2. Reverse warrior. Turn the right palm up, reach forward, hinging at the hips, and then reach the right arm up, over, and towards the back of your practice space. So the left hand can slide down the left leg here, or you can half bind again. Keep a deep bend in the right knee. Keep the right arm really active so you're reaching back strongly. Straighten the right leg, reverse triangle. Bring your shoulders up over your hips, bring your arms out, bump the hips back into the left, and then reach forward for triangle. So this is a great place to get a block. You reach forward, and then when you can't anymore, the right hand comes down anywhere above or below the knee. The left hand can stay on the left hip. You just want to bring the bottom hand to wherever lets you stay open to the side. I know I harp on that quite a bit. And again, remember, you can keep a little bend in the right knee. Options here. You can streamline the left bicep over the left ear. You can half bind the left forearm behind the back. You can streamline both biceps around the ear and grab an imaginary beach ball. But remember, when we did the side bend earlier, you work the hips and the heart open towards the side of the room. Nice choices. Spiral the inner thighs together so you're getting weight in both feet. Inhale, up to stand. Exhale, rebend the right knee. Warrior 2. Breath in, breath out. Cartwheel the hands down inside the right foot. Bring the left toes down, left heel up. Walk the right knee out to the side for lizard. So bring the left knee down, untuck the left toes. Find your blocks to start and bring them inside the right foot. So everybody make sure that the left shin is parallel with the back of the mat. And then you have choices here. So this knee rather, there, now you can see it. This knee can fall out to the side here if you want, if that feels better on their outer right hip. You can keep the hands. Yeah, fold over the mat or get a towel or put a pillow under the knee if it's bothering you. Good, nice adjustment. So the hands can be down on the ground inside the blocks. You can bring your forearms down to blocks or the floor and drop the head. And take a couple of breaths here where you let the hips drop lower towards the mat. If you'd like to add an optional quad stretch, you can come with me. Come up to the palms of your hands, whether it's on the floor or on a block. Bend the left knee, point the left toes towards the left glute. That's already a quad stretch. If you'd like a little bit more, press the left hand into the block, reach the right arm back. The thumb is down and the palm is away from you. And then you'll grab the inside of the left foot. Guide the left heel back towards the left glute and then roll the right shoulder open. So it becomes a little bit like supported bow. Release the back foot if you had it. Bring your right hand down inside your right foot. Okay. Take the right hand outside the right foot and heel toe the right foot back into the center. Rebend the right knee so that the right knee is over the right ankle. Tuck the left toes and bring the left knee under the left hip. So we have a couple of right angles. I know I always say not right on the knee. This is an exception. Fold the mat over. That's a good place to be, or keep a pillow there. Okay, half split or full split. So half split, half Hanuman. Take the blocks on the high setting. Keep the left hip over the left knee and then slide the right leg forward. And you can stop there if that's plenty of hamstring, or you can take the right heel down, right toes up. From there, press into the blocks, lift your upper body. And exhale, bend the elbows back to fold over the right leg. So from there, if you're feeling super open, you can move down to a lower block setting, or you can remove the blocks entirely. And keep flexing the right toes towards the face. If anybody's working full split, you could tuck the left toes, slide the left leg back further. But that might be something that we do individually. Okay. Start to rebend the right knee. So what you might need to do is kind of slide the leg back and forth here, and then slide the right foot back until you can rebend the right knee. You might have the blocks here, all good. Tuck the back toes, bring the left knee up off the ground. Once you have the runner's lunge, remove the blocks. Bring the fingertips down on either side of the right foot. Challenge yourself to send the right foot up and back. So you'll bend the right knee into the chest, send the right foot up, set the right foot down, downward facing dog. Let the head drop, press into the finger pads, press your chest closer towards your thighs, and then bring the big toes to touch. Inhale the left foot up and back. Come high on the right toes, shoulders over wrists, knee to nose, round and curl, good. Set the left foot down, runner's lunge. Spin the right foot down to the back edge of the mat so the left heel aligns with the right inner arch. Cartwheel the hands up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. So you can see it from this side. Again, this time we press into the right edge of the right foot. The left toes are forward. Take a little bit more of a bend into the left knee. Good, press the left knee out. Take your hands to your hips, take the shoulders over the hips, and then bring the arms out. Hold here. Nice, everybody. Drop the shoulders away from the ears for 2 long breaths. Reverse warrior, left palm is up, reach forward, up over towards the back of your mat, and then the right hand slides down the right leg or half bind. Spin the left pinky towards the left ear, drop a little bit lower into the left knee, breathe into the left side of the body, straighten the left leg, or lengthen it. It doesn't have to be straight, right? You can have a soft bend, reverse triangle. Bring the shoulders up over the hips. Arms come out to a T, bump the hips back into the right, and then hinge forward. triangle, Trikonasana on this side. So you can pick up the block, bring it inside the left leg, left foot. Right hand comes to the hip. And you can guide the right hip open, bring the right hand up. Other choices, you can half bind the right arm, streamline the right bicep over the right ear, bring the left bicep under the left ear, hold, squeezing the inner thighs together energetically if you're doing that. Everybody come on up, shoulders over hips, arms out to a T, exhale. Meet me in warrior two if you're Virabhadrasana 2. Take the hands down inside the left foot, tuck the back toes, walk the left foot out to the side, lizard. So again, the right knee comes down, fold over the mat, get a pillow, untuck the right toes. And you have all the same choices here. So the hands are inside the left foot, forearms can come down. I'm not going to do that, but you can. Hands to the blocks, forearms to the blocks. And then the left knee can flop out to the side, or you can keep the left foot down. So letting the knee come out gets into the outer IT band a little bit more. If you're here, it kind of gets a little bit more to the front of the hip, especially even the right hip as you start to drop the hips lower. You can drop the head. If you want to join me for the quad stretch, come up onto the hands, whether they're on the floor or on blocks, drop the hips down and bend the right knee, kick towards the right glute. Left hand reaches back, left thumb down. And then same thing, we reach back for the big toe side of the foot, guide it back closer to the right glute, and then roll the left shoulder open. So you definitely want to feel the chest kind of puff up here. Nice. Yeah, or just hold pigeon, lizard rather, sorry. Okay, if you had the back foot release, and bring the hands down inside the left foot. Heel toe the left foot now into the center. So the blocks or the hands are framing the left foot. Tuck the right toes. Bring the right knee under the right hip. So right angles in both. Half split. Start with the blocks on the high setting. Squeeze everything back into the center. So you're facing forward, and then slide the left leg forward. And take your time with this. Like, we want to coax the hamstrings open rather than kind of scaring them. So again, if this side feels tighter, it's all good. You can keep the left foot down. You could keep the left heel down, flex the left toes. If you're there with me, press into the blocks. Inhale, lift through a flat back. And exhale, bend the elbows back. Drop the forehead down. I don't think anyone's working towards a full split, but you're always welcome to tuck the back toes. Slide the foot back. Press into the blocks or the floor. Start to lift up your upper body and then slide the left heel back until you can get the left foot flat on the ground. Bring the left knee back over the left ankle. Tuck the right toes. Bring the right knee off the ground. And then move your blocks. Runner's lunge. So same challenge moment here. See what happens if you bend the left knee, pull the knee in towards the nose, and then send the left foot up and back. One-legged dog. Set the left foot down. Downward facing dog. Set the knees down, tabletop. Okay, bring your forearms down to the ground. And interlace the fingers, press the pinky side down into the mat. Two choices here. You can either tuck your toes, find a forearm plank from the toes, or find it on your knees. Same thing with the knees. If you're on your knees, you got a diagonal, okay? We're gonna hold here, protracting the shoulders, so pushing the forearms down, rounding through the spine a little bit, the upper back, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. Big breath out. Bring the knees down. Bring yourself to a forearm tabletop. You can let go of the interlace and just shake it out. So let's start to cool it down, but first a back bend, because any practice here is not complete without a little bit of a chest opener. So I'm going to offer sleeping locust because it's my favorite. Otherwise, supported bridge. So I'll remind you kind of how both of them work. Sleeping locust, we take our 2 blocks in a V shape with space between the tops, and then slide the legs back and bring the blocks on either the low or medium setting under your shoulder caps, and then bring the forehead to the ground. If you're mashing your nose, you just tuck the chin under. Then the hands can come down in a W or they can come alongside your body. So that's sleeping locust. Another option for a little bit of a heart opener is to roll over onto your back. Bend the knees, lift the hips up, and then place the block on the low or medium setting on the widest part of your low back. And we'll hold for about 2 minutes in silence. If you came to supported bridge, to exit, press into the heels, curl the tailbone up towards the navel, and then press the hips up until you can remove the block and carefully unwind the low back down. Bring the feet as wide as the mat, let the knees knock in. If you were in sleeping locust, rebend the elbows if you need to, bring the palms down, and then press yourself up through tabletop, and then child's pose. From child's pose, you can either walk the hands back up to the knees and sit on the heels to set up for yoga nidra. If you're on your back, you can roll over and grab anything you need. We make our way onto our back. So lots of things could happen. If you have a pillow, obviously it can go under your head. It can feel pretty nice to take a big pillow. You can do this with your foam roller too if you want to support your low back a little bit. Is to bring your knees over a pillow and then lie down. You can use a foam roller if it's handy. Same thing happens, that helps you lower or flatten the low back to the ground. And then you can set up a blanket. Take time to get super comfortable here. We'll be here for 20 minutes. So we'll end right at 8:45. And then the last thing is if you have a blanket, sometimes it can feel good to feel extra weight on your hips for grounding, keeping that whole theme so you can drop
extra pillows on top, you can drop a block. And then the arms are alongside the body. Turn the palms up and close the eyes. So Yoga Nidra is one of the few times where I'm going to say, okay, you have to close the eyes or else it doesn't quite work to come into deep non-sleep rest. Of course, if you are really having a hard time with closing the eyes, you can just keep the gaze really soft, but we ideally lie down and close the eyes. So I'm going to guide you. I think almost everyone's done this with me, but again, Yoga Nidra is a form of deep non-sleep rest. So what that means is if you fall asleep, it's totally fine, but if you don't need to beat yourself up. It takes our brain down into some of the levels of restful brain waves. And you keep a little seed of consciousness. So I'm going to guide us to various, I'm going to guide your awareness to just think about different points of your body. And when I mention it, there is nothing to do except settle your intention on each body part with an intention to rest. So when you take the attention there, you can even repeat in your mind after you hear the body part, the word rest, silently to help you soften. So bring the awareness to the space in between your eyebrows. Rest. The center of your throat. Rest. Make an intention for your right shoulder to rest and let your attention run down your upper arm to your right elbow. And then down your right forearm and into the right wrist, the tip of the right thumb, the tip of the right index finger, tip of the right middle finger, tip of the right ring finger, tip of the right little finger. Let the right hand rest. Take attention to the right wrist, the right elbow, the right shoulder. Let the whole right arm rest. Move your attention to your throat. Commit to rest. Awareness in the left shoulder. Let your attention run down the upper arm to the left elbow, the left wrist, tip of the left thumb, tip of the left index finger, tip of the left middle finger, tip of the left ring finger, tip of the left little finger. Let the whole left hand rest. Left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder. Let the whole left arm rest.
Bring your attention back to the throat. Rest. The center of the chest. The right side of the chest. Center of the chest. Left side of the chest. The navel. The space between the hips. Let the whole abdomen and torso rest. Center of the right hip, let the attention run down the thigh to the right knee. Through the shin to the right ankle. Tip of the right big toe. Tip of the right second toe. Tip of the right middle toe. Tip of the right fourth toe. Tip of the right little toe. Right ankle. Right knee. Deep in the right hip, let the whole right leg rest. Take attention back to the space between the hips. Center of the left hip. Let your attention run down the thigh to the left knee. Through the shin to the left ankle. Tip of the left big toe, tip of the left second toe. Tip of the left middle toe, tip of the left fourth toe, tip of the left little toe, left ankle, left knee, deep in the left hip, let the whole left leg rest. Take attention back to the space between the hips, attention rising to the navel. Let the whole abdomen rest, the center of the chest. Let the walls of the throat relax. Release the space in between your eyebrows. Let your attention rest in between your eyebrows. Let your whole body rest. The whole body rest. Without changing anything, witness the rhythm of your breath. Rest in the changing sensations of inhalation versus exhalation. Rest in the changing sensations of your breath. As you move into a mental version of alternate nostril breathing, the body will remain still and the breath is easy. So no force, no strain here, but begin to visualize the breath moving in through the right nostril and out through the left nostril. Just imagine it coming in the left nostril and out through the right. Allow the breath to be as easy and soothing as possible here. Imagine that the breath moves in from below the nostrils and travels all the way up past the center of the eyebrows and into the middle of your brain. Watch the breath fall, exhaling from the center of your brain all the way beyond the tip of the nostrils. See the breath move from the nostrils to the brain to the nostrils with ease. Add counting to the breath, counting from 21 down to 0. So if you lose count or finish, come back to 21. So if you get lost, start over at 21. If you finish, come back to 21. Your next inhale through the right nostril will be inhale right 21. Exhale left 21. And then inhale left 20. Exhale right 20. Continue this silent count for the next few moments. No strain, no force, easy breathing, imagining that energetic loop of the breath. And if you get lost, begin again at 21. Now let all counting fall away and let all effort dissolve into deep rest. From here, we'll move into exploring dualities. Bring your attention to the front of your body, from your face all the way through your chest and torso to your legs and feet. Let your whole front body rest into the back of your body. And let there be a feeling of weight in your body as your front body settles back and rests. Front body rests into the back body. Imagine how it would feel for your whole body to feel supported as though you let yourself sink into the ground. Let your whole body explore a restful, deep heaviness, sinking into rest. Now imagine your back body floating up into your front body. The whole body light and spacious and effortless. Let your whole body feel light as though you are resting weightlessly. Let yourself wander between these two opposites. There's no rush. Feel the body heavy. Feel the body light. Feel the body heavy. Feel the body light. Continue on your own, rotating between feeling the body heavy and light. So how might you feel all the sensations of weight and heaviness at the same time? Can you feel the opposite sensations of heaviness and lightness at the same time? Trying to merge the sensations of heavy and light within your whole being. Can you rest deeply in between the two, neither heavy nor light? Finding the essence of both without striving or grasping, just simply resting in between the two, heavy and light. A sense of deep, deep rest in your body. Deep, deep rest in your mind. A sense of deep, deep rest in your whole being, unchanging, restful, and whole. Let your whole body rest, resting in the unchanging nature of your whole self. Now, note to yourself if there is anything about this practice and inquiry that you'd like to remember. It could be a thought, a feeling, a sensation, a memory, a sense of deep rest, or it could be nothing, no judgment. So meet all of your experience as it is in this moment and notice how your body feels against the ground. Feeling the weight of your muscles and bones. Notice which parts of you are touching the ground. The head, the shoulder blades and ribs, the back of the pelvis, the flesh of your upper and lower legs, the heels. Feel your breath move your body and notice the natural, easy rhythm of your breath. Start to take a deeper, richer breath now. Noting how that breath feels as sensation in your body. How does the inhale feel in comparison to the exhale? Remember where you are in the room. And keeping the eyes closed, start to take gentle movements, wiggling fingers and toes. Stretch your arms and your legs. And slowly start to make any movements that will gently help to bring your body back into a wakeful state. Gently roll to your side. Use your bottom arm as a pillow. Keep the eyes closed. And then use your other hand to start to guide yourself up to an easy seat towards the sound of my voice. Keeping the eyes closed if you can. Take a moment here to start to reground, bringing that sense of embodiment back into your body. So rub the hands down the legs. You can rub the hands on the arms. Maybe grab the feet, massage out the toes. Roll out the neck, anything that feels good here that gets you back into physical awareness of where you are in space. And then find a stillness, find a tall spine. And for a little bit of extra grounding, you can bring your hands down to your thighs if you like. And we'll close our practice together with one last breath. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale out the mouth. Gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me and for allowing me to guide you. I will stop the recording and we can check in.